everyone, and welcome back to PK Starcraft. This is episode 4, and we actually have a really good Protoss here from Australia. It's going to be nGenLight. nGenLight, why don't you say hi?
Hi everybody, I'm nGenLight.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, like how what kind of person you are and how you got into StarCraft?
I'm a 23-year-old student from Sydney. I'm currently studying a psychology
Whoa.
degree. Um, I I played StarCraft like 10 years ago, but not really. I was a Dota player, so
Okay.
yeah, so I came from a Dota background. I'm pretty new to the whole like strategy type of game in general, so I messed up a lot of games recently, and that's how I got like all right. I wouldn't say good, but yeah.
Oh no, I of course when I was preparing this show, I was watching some of your replays. I'm like, holy shit, this is some really interesting stuff. Because forgive me, the perception of Protoss is like, oh, it's going to be another Protoss versus Protoss boring game because they're only just going to like forgate each other. But when I watch your replays, it's just different. It's refreshing.
Well, to be honest, I actually have a reputation of being like doing a lot of foregates,
Oh, okay.
which i- which which works in my favor because everyone thinks I'm gonna do it to them, and I just pull out some like really weird stuff, and they'll be like, "What?" Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of weird stuff, let's actually go into the into game one because it's actually going
Okay.
to be against a Zerg called Poker Face. And are you ready to count down?
Yep.
So
Yep.
three, two, one, go. Okay, so here we are
Okay.
on Blistering Sands and Gen Light, of course, as the Rib Protoss in the 2 o'clock position, and we have Poker Face in the 7 o'clock position. And well, let me speed my game up a little bit because I was on normal. And yeah, I mean, tell me what was your thoughts coming into this game? This was a ladder match, right? I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a ladder. This was like a series of games where we just kept finding each other. And on a map like this, a blistering sands where there's two entrances to the main, you, Protossers usually do a really aggressive build where they either do a 4 gate or 5 gate and they just try to kill the Zerg very early. And previous to this game, I already like 4 gated this player, like I think a few times already.
So he's
So he
expecting
has a
it.
fear. Yeah, he has a fear factor that I'm gonna do it to him, like in his mind.
Okay. So I mean, coming into this game, what kind of strategy did you have? Because as you said, you four-gated him a few games. This map is infamous for four-gating because of that back rocks.
Yep.
So I mean, you wanted to. I mean, what was your thought process? Basically, you're like, oh, okay, I got blistering sands. Now what?
Well, it's my mentality to try to be like really unpredictable with my play. So, like when I saw like I try to not do the same strategy again and again and again. So I just wanted to mix something up, and I always had this thought that this probably might work, just based on the last few games I played against this player.
Hmm. Actually, speaking of fear factor, this this Zerg actually went spawning pool first on 14 and didn't even get gas, so he pretty much wants to get as fast expansion as possible. But yeah,
Yeah.
you are gonna deny that, and actually using that mineral ghosting just to save your probe.
hmm Uh, yeah. What I do on this map is that I would never let Zerg catch first. Is this? I would just not do it. Like on any two-player map, you just don't let Zerg hatch first. You put yourself in too much of a disadvantage.
Mm. So you would always you feel those 100 minerals is worth delaying any kind of
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It saves them from getting like 4 extra larvae at the start,
mm,
and that's like 4 drones. It's like a butterfly effect. You let them save up a lot of early drones, and they get a lot of money from that.
right. So we are now in the
And
4 minute mark. He is going to force down your pylon. So yeah, I mean you're right. This is a pretty delayed hatchery. Basically, he can't hatch on
yeah,
15. He has to hatch either 20 plus.
and the good thing about that pylon there is that when the Zerglings actually come out, they will go after the pylon first, which means you can get your second gas before the Zealot actually. Like you can get your Zealot a bit later because you know the Zerglings are gonna attack your pylon first.
Right. Yeah, because they really,
Yeah,
really, really want that hatch down. And you also can see how many Zerglings they build. You know, some people build two, some people
yeah,
build six, or some
exactly,
people build six. Hmm.
exactly.
Now,
And sometimes you can see whether they brought a drone or not. And if they have a drone like running around, it means they probably want to make an expansion.
right.
Yeah.
And then if you see like six slings but no drone, then there is a possibility that they're just mass speedling.
Yeah, and that's when you want to chrono boost your second unit, like Sentry or Stalk out ASAP, because they will just break down your gateway.
Now I see Poker Face being pretty good about this. He's basically distracting you with his drone while he's beating on the back door, even having a scouting Zergling in the front. So, but
Mhm.
I noticed your second pylon is inside the base right next to your Nexus. And can you tell me about that placement? Because I do see some Protoss, they put their second pylon at the back gates. Oh, there you are. You're gonna drop your third pylon there. But
Yep.
thoughts about this second pylon is, oh,
Oh,
actually,
what happened was he had a drone in my base which stole the gas. Which when he steals a gas of Protoss on this map, it means you're forcing the Protoss to do like 4 gate. And
right.
I did make my fourth gate in his view when his drone was like running around my base. I'd actually built a gateway and I cancelled it after his drone died.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I built a pylon next to my base, which is in the most middle section of this, like the island of my map, where my base is.
Yep.
So if any of his what's it called overlord comes in, I can spot it and try to kill it. And right now I'm moving out with my zealots just to show that yeah, I'm gonna forget you. You know?
And Poker Face is getting lots and lots of roaches to stop that. He's throwing down two
Yes,
spine
yes.
crawlers and this twat.
Because he's
Sorry, go ahead.
yep, yep. He sees the units going across the field from the Zelnaga tower. Like I know he can see me, and I want him to see me coming.
Right. So that Zergling. I mean, you just assume at this level of play that he's going to have good scouting. So that means he is going to get the Zanaga.
Exactly,
Oh.
exactly. I want him to see me coming, really badly.
But very interestingly, you drop down a Dark Shrine, and Dark Shrines take forever to come out. And I notice his army is practically all Zealots, so you are saving your gas for DTs. Wow.
Yes. Okay. If he was a more experienced, like if he was more experienced to this build, he would notice that I only had an army of zealots, and in that scenario, you want to get like probably evolution chamber and get spore colony because they're either facing DTs or
Phoenix.
um yeah, or void ray or something like that. I just gave out how to beat this build, so yeah.
Well, you have a crazy army of like what is it, 12 zealots. Now, of course, these roaches are going to be very very effective against that. But your Dark Shrine is almost completed. You're basically buying time for your DT. You're not really wanting to like. What's your thoughts with this army? Are you going to actually push when this DT when these DTs go into the base? Or are you just going to use it to be like make sure they don't counterattack?
I'm just standing outside of his base, so he's scared, and he needs to keep pumping units. Because as long as my army's outside his base, he's scared. See, I even poke his front just to let him know that yeah, I'm right here. You better keep making units.
And
Yeah.
let's look at the DTs have claimed their first kill, second kill, and I think you're sending two of your units down to the natural and your third one. Now, what is your thought process? What do you want to kill? Do you want to kill drones? You want to kill units? You want to kill queens? You want to kill
Well,
buildings? Like, what's your thoughts?
obviously the main target is drones, and but the thing is, I need to notice if he has a lair or he has evolution chamber, because if those are down, then I need to target those right away.
Mm,
And as you see in his natural, he's putting down evolution chamber, but it's going down right away.
mm, mm. Actually forced to get a second evolution chamber dead behind the mineral line. So now you've taken on the evolution chamber. He doesn't have a lair. You see the count. You see
Hmm.
the counter attack, and your army is out basically caught in the middle of in the middle. So do you go back to defend, or like what is your thinking right now?
Yes, I have to go back and defend. Because my DK can probably just kill him right here. I don't think my army can actually beat this amount of roaches, but I have to try to minimize as much damage as I can.
Well, at least you can kill quite a lot of roaches, and only a single sentry, so you're only able to drop two force fields. But the zealots are actually very very poor against the roaches. The thing is why didn't you bring your stalkers out to help these zealots?
Because I did, but all my gases went to Dark Templars, so I'm a bit short.
Oh no, no, I'm talking about these three stalkers here by the Wazanaga Watchtower. Was that a
Oh,
mistake or?
yeah, I believe that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I believe I think in my mind I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill you too. Oh no, I remember because I saw the spore crawler, like where my Dark Templar is hitting now, and I wanted to kill it right away.
Right.
See the spore crawler
Hmm.
here? Yep.
Wow, I think you're both down to six harvesters apiece. It's pretty
Hmm.
funny. And your DT Dark Strike is unpowered. Actually, your three stalkers are being quite useful now. Actually, able to snipe almost three of these roaches. And yeah, I mean, right now I just don't see how the Zerg can actually come back from this. Your DTs are chasing the drones down as quickly as possible. Now, there's two schools of thought. Like, one school of thought is using DTs to kill very critical tech structures. Like, for example, if you were to kill the spawning pool or the Roach Warren, then
Hmm.
the Zerg is boned because basically they can't build any of these units without the supporting structures. But
Hmm.
instead you went for drones. If you had to play this game again, would you go for drones again, or would you go for critical structures?
Um, I d- the only critical structure like that I saw was critical was probably the evolution chamber
Mm-hmm.
because if there was no evolution chamber, my DT can just flat out win the game. I'm not like yes, roaches are pretty important, but the thing is, he one roach warren is 150 gold, and if he reacts fast enough, he can just make another one really fast.
Right,
But
right.
if I kill his economy, then he can't recover.
Mm-hmm. Actually, these DTs have chased these drones all the way back into their
Yeah.
base. It's pretty hilarious. All right, so let me ask you a question while I load the second game. If you are aspiring Protoss, basically Protoss out there wants to basically mimic this build, which is essentially a modified three gate. You use the three gateways to basically pump out a lot of zealots, make this early push, save your gas for DTs. Like, what are some of the things that they have to watch out for when they do this kind of build?
Well, you don't want to just look at this replay and go, "Oh, I'm gonna do the same thing," because you have to understand that there's a lot of history that goes into your perception of each other's games and on the map. Because on a map such as this, they think you're gonna go for a four gate, and if you play with this player a lot and you do four gate him a lot on maps like this, then yeah, he will be really afraid. So I'm just saying, like, this is not a build you want to like do like every now and like all the time. It's just a build that, if you just to pull out now and then to make the Zerg when they play against you to make that evolution chamber to invest in that evolution chamber.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Because I suppose if the Zerg had any inkling that you were going DTs, he would have popped the lair and then had Overseer follow his
Yes.
roaches around, and then this build would basically not work anymore.
Yes. It's that's completely true. It's completely a psychological game. If you can make him feel that like you're just gonna push him with a five gate, he is not gonna go to lair
Yeah,
tech.
he can't though. He's just gonna die.
Yeah. Exactly.
Huh. So I guess for aspiring Protoss play, this would be actually a pretty good build against Zerg on let's say a tournament. Maybe you like four gate him the first game, and then he chooses a map that's also very four gateable, and then you go this build.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's one of those things you can pull out in a series that throw them off. I believe Refallen, who is very well known for his macro style of play,
Right.
actually beat Revenant because on with DTs because Revenant just did not see it coming at all. Yeah,
Well, the thing is about Refallen when you watch him in SSL. I mean, Revenant scouts like a beast. He always scouts.
yeah,
But the thing
exactly.
is,
He's
yeah.
one of the
But
best at
Refallen
that.
just basically had stalkers waiting everywhere the Overlord could come in. So Refallen, Revenant couldn't really see what he was going for. I mean both of them
Hmm.
played very solidly. But anyways, we have another game, and it's going to be against your clanmate. It's going to be nGen Baz here on Metalopolis.
Uh,
And you ready to start it up?
just one
Sure.
second. Sorry.
Now let's queue it up to two times because I believe we have another really really good game like Red Archon. I'm just afraid of time, so we'll probably just speed it up
Oh,
to two times until we hit something interesting. Then I'll ask you to slow down
okay. Sorry, I'm finding it hard to
the
find.
replay.
Yeah, there's too much saved. Alright, I'm just loading out from the desktop.
No problem.
Okay.
Hmm. See, this is one of the wonderful things about live shows. It's like, what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Oh, everything can go wrong.
Sorry. Yeah. I've
Sweet.
loaded it up.
Okay, so are you at faster times two? Okay,
Yep.
three, two, one, go. Okay, once again, we are nGenLight here in the studio, and he's going to spawn at the 12 o'clock position. And actually, nGen Baz is like fail split. I guess. See, that's one of the tricky parts about playing Zerg because you have to, make your drone, move your workers, and also move your overlord as quickly as possible. Sometimes it's very easy to just
Uh-huh.
misclick your minerals, and then your drones just not do anything. But
Yeah.
okay, is this a series between you and Jazzbaz or?
This is one of the practice games that we have, and like we practice a lot. So just because so we take games off each other all the time. So we're about 50-50.
Hmm.
And this is one of it was a pretty interesting how I folded out because on a map like Metalopolis, we have so much history playing this map, like just the way we play it, that a lot of weird stuff goes on.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a very, very standard opening. Very, very practice, I'm sure. It's going to be a Forge Fast expand, I believe. And I mean, what were your thoughts coming into this game? So, okay, you know the Zerg, you popped your drone your drone in not your drone your probe in there. You saw the pool first, and I mean, so what's your thoughts?
Basically, on this map, if you can like if I can stop him from making a hatchery before my Nexus, then I feel that I am ahead.
Hmm.
Yes, that's why I've made a pylon in where his hatchery would have been to stop him making a hatchery. And then now I'm setting up my natural and I'm well ahead at this point. And this is where he will respond. Like a good Zerg right now will respond by either all-inning me or getting two expansions at a time. And I know exactly that that's what he wants to do because I played him like millions of times. Like
He
exactly.
has no idea. Oh my god, actually the hatchery does complete. The drones are trying to power down the cannons and wow, this is a lot of cannons, man. This is five cannons. And
Exactly. What I did was I did not make the cannons until the hatchery was almost complete, so he could not because there's no vision on the
right.
hatchery. Yeah,
Wow.
when it's beginning.
And he lost a lot of drones and Zerglings trying to stop that as well.
Yeah, and now he is really far behind. Like this is the way on Metalopolis, if you can put a pilot, if you force fast expand and you can slow down their hatchery, you are really well ahead as Protoss.
Wow, that's really, really critical. Right now, 23 harvesters for Jazzbass, 36 for you. So what's your thought process? You basically know you're very far ahead, and essentially the Zerg
Yes,
has to all in you. Otherwise, he's just gonna lose if it drags out to a macro game. So what's I
yes.
mean, what's going through your mind? How do you think he's going to react?
Okay, the thing is when I actually stopped his hatchery from getting built, he would have made either like two hatcheries or he would have all in me. The reason I know he wasn't all inning me was because I saw him make that hatchery, which means he invested 300 more gold into another like expansion. So right now I feel like he has to try to kill me somehow, either through a Nidus worm or like a very delayed roach bust. But he is very behind.
Wow. Okay, so basically you stopped the Nidus, two of them. Let's slow down to normal speed in three, two, one. Okay, normal speed. Not sorry, not normal speed, faster. And
Okay.
What's your thoughts? Basically, you know he's gonna. You saw the Nidus, so okay, he either has a lot of roaches or a lot of lings. It does look like it's gonna be a
Yep.
lot of lings, and ooh, actually that ling giving its life for the swarm. So basically, he's gonna run his reinforcements here. And can you tell me why you basically went pure stalkers?
Sorry.
Why did you go a lot of stalkers instead of like a lot of zealots?
Uh, cause um, I don't know. I guess I had the gas. I thought that was a very mind blowing thing. But I wouldn't say I knew he was going Banelings, but I thought that like with the Nidus Worm, he had to try something that was really all-inish, and Baneling was definitely a possibility. And if I had like at that point, like my zealots would have dealt with I had enough zealots to deal with Zerglings, and if he had roaches, then I needed the stalkers, and if he had banelings, then I needed the stalkers too.
Ah, okay. You just, I guess, in that battle, you just didn't expect to see that many Zerglings. And
No, no, but I had enough Zerglings to deal with that. I mean zealots to deal with the Zerglings.
right, right. So you
Yep.
basically says, okay, he's basically a lot of Zerglings. You did get a couple zealots to reinforce your army, and you're getting your third. So um, thoughts on that? I mean, you're heavily ahead. Why bother to get a third base?
I don't know. Is this extra APM? I don't know. It's just things you can do. Like you never know. The game may never like be that simply ended. You have to like until the player says GG. Even sometimes when they say GG, they still play. They still keep playing. And you've like stopped everything, and then they just come back and kill you, and you're like, what?
And then they'll be like,
Yeah.
psych.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so once again, I'm gonna cue it up to the webcam once again. But unfortunately, you don't have webcam. It's okay. Oh, by the way, there's a reason why Kelly's not here. Kelly actually had to settle some personal stuff, so she really
Okay.
apologizes that she couldn't join the show. But she'll be back next week because I'll be
Okay.
in
Cool.
Bangkok for work. Um, no,
Okay.
actually not for work. I'll be there for church. Actually there for 8 days. Gonna go to the villagers and give supplies, run clinics. It'll be fun. Um,
Mhm.
so, hey, let me think. The first game. I mean, that's the second game that you fought a Zerg. So,
Mhm.
I mean, if you because I know that in the words of Refallen, Zerg is quote unquote underpowered versus Protoss. Now,
That
you
is
think
true.
so? Really?
Yes, that is really true. We just can do so much things to Zerg. They're at our mercy. That's how I feel at the
So
moment.
if you were sitting in Blizzard's office and then you're like, okay, when the game came out, Protoss was really bad, and then now they're better, if not really good. How would you balance the game in the sense that it would make ZVP a little bit stronger for Zerg, but not affect ZVT or PvP? Eh, TVP, sorry.
Uh, well, I think Zerg needs a buff. Protoss should stay the same, and probably Terran needs a nerf. That's just how I feel. But don't quote me on that.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that the one thing that everyone can agree on is on opinion, and I'm sure a lot of the people who are listening to this will be like, oh my God, what are you talking about? But but
Yeah.
if you had to buff Zerg, what would you buff to make it
Probably probably spine crawler timing.
oh
The build time for spine crawler. Sometimes I just feel that when they when the Zerg player doesn't know we're coming and we just like from a close position, if we want to get to their base and they had no idea we were coming, as soon as we get to their base, the spine crawler is not even like halfway done yet,
oh
and that's when they just automatically just die, and that's I find that quite ridiculous, like how easy they die like that.
yeah. Well, I think a spine crawler does take 55 seconds to build, so that's a pretty ginormous time considering it takes about 20
Yeah.
seconds to walk from your base to his base.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe like a mechanical buff, like auto inject or something like that. Like they need something. I'm not a balancer, so I can't comment on that too much.
Hmm. Auto inject. Wow, that makes it sound like a Terran ability. But are you ready for the Red Archon match?
Oh, sorry. Wait,
No worries, no worries. And for me,
sorry.
for me, it's easy because you basically just sent me through replays, and I dumped it in a folder. But for you, you have to search through all your replays.
And I also get very consumed talking to you. So
Yeah, my melodious voice. So, actually, I was able to pop onto your Facebook and steal a photo of you and this cute girl that you're basically wearing a suit and she's in yellow and is that please tell me it's not your sister because then it would sound really weird.
sorry. What photo is this?
It's on one of it used to be one of your old profile pictures. And then there's a girl with curly
Uh-huh.
hair, Asian girl, and then you're in a suit.
Oh, that's my
Mm.
girlfriend.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
hinting at. But then so many times in the past, I feel like, "Hey, that's a cute girlfriend," and then they'll
Uh-huh.
be like, That's my
Yeah,
sister."
it's my
I'm like,
sister.
oh, okay, never mind. I just want to be sure. All right, she's,
I can't believe you, Phoenix.
but and then because when I was growing up, me and my sister look completely different. So we'll go out and then be like, "Hey,
Uh,
is that your girlfriend?" I'll be like, we'll both say at the same time, like, "Oh my God, no, we don't have bad. Our taste is not that bad."
yeah.
That sibling rivalry. But
Okay.
how did you meet her? School?
Uni. Yeah. She was a friend of mine, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So a little tidbit for you guys. Sorry, nGenLight is taken. You can try other pro players. But let's once again go up to times two. Let's how are we doing on time? Let's see. Let me pull up my video recorder. We are at we got lots of time. Actually, let's go at it normal speed.
Okay. Yep.
Because this game was actually really, really, really different, and I really like it. Actually, up until this day, I've not seen anyone play the way you played this game. And so
Okay.
let's start in three, two, one, go. Whoops.
Okay.
And here we go. We are on once again Red Archon's practically favorite map. It's going to be Zalnaga Caverns. He's in the 2 o'clock position. nGenLight. This is the blue Protoss. Going to spawn in the 7 o'clock. And let me just spend a little bit of time talking about Red Archon. I just casted a whole bunch of games. Him playing this map actually 3 times in the Doxy monthly number 6, and he barely just lost to Aaron. But one of the really critical things that I really like about this play was he goes a lot of ghosts against Protoss, especially Protoss that use a lot of sentries, use a lot of Templars, and it was very, very effective. Basically, the 2 games that he was able to take off Aaron was games that he went ghosts, and then he tried some other funky stuff in the other games and lost. But I mean, Red Archon is a very good player, known for heavy macro. And I mean, what are your thoughts coming into this game? This was a ladder match, I assume.
Yeah. This was a live match where I came in and he was favored.
Wow.
So I felt like, and like when I started playing StarCraft, the name Red Archon was like a god to me. So I looked up to this like Red Archon really highly, and I was very nervous
Hmm.
going into this game. But I want to mention that like when this game was played, I was so confident in my PvT. Like I had a style that no Terran has actually figured out yet.
Hmm.
But I think they've figured out now, like with the Jinro mech builds.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like they figure out how to beat it now. But at this point, I felt like no Terran could beat me in the world.
Just
But
because of the composition
yeah, yeah,
army.
yeah. But still, I knew that he was a much better player than me. So I don't know. It was a mix of confidence and like, oh my god, it's Red Archon. Yeah,
Because one of the things about Red Archon is he's such a careful player. You know, if you notice his SCVs, they're always poking around in corners. They always check the corners of the base. So it's really, really hard to cheese this guy. So you really have
yeah.
to go toe to toe macro with him. And I mean, Red Archon just absolutely excels at macro. And once again, he is going to get a very, very